That's the new documentary, Off the Rails. It follows Darius McCollum, arguably the best trained driver in the New York City transit system. But as you see, he just said it, he's never been an employee. He spent nearly half his life in jail for that, and others for driving buses and trains. LA-based film director Adam Irving is behind the project. We want to welcome him here to talk about this fascinating look at this man's life. How did you follow or find Darius?
I actually read about him online. I found his Wikipedia page sort of randomly, you know, when you're reading something about the Civil War and a few clicks later you're reading about avocados. It was that kind of thing. And I was like, this is an amazing story. I can't believe no one has done a movie. And I decided to do a movie.
Now tell us a little bit about him. A lot of people may not know he has Asperger's syndrome. And from a very young boy, he started memorizing the New York City subway system.
Yeah, Darius was a real mama's boy, so he'd go everywhere on the train with his mom and look out the window and ask questions. And by the time he was 7, he had memorized all 468 stations and became friends with the drivers because a lot of kids his age bullied him because of his Asperger's, and so he found solace from those bullies in the subway system.
Now we're watching a little bit of your documentary right now. My big question is, how did he get behind the controls of these trains? I mean, we've all been, I think, most of us, on an MTA train.
Sure.
And it's amazing to think that somebody could just, you know, stop and start them. And I mean, he learned how to operate these from a conductor's perspective, didn't he?
Yeah, if you look him up in the news, they often use the term hijack, but it's not accurate because he never uses force. He just kind of charms his way in. So it can be as simple as he shows up with a lunchbox and an MTA uniform. He knows the lingo. He says, "Oh, I'm here to sign out the R142 3 o'clock train," and they don't question it because he walks the walk, he talks the talk, and he gets behind the wheel, and the conductor in the middle of the train just kind of goes along with it because they figure he knows what he's doing. And then other times, you know, friends of his, instead of calling in sick, would just call in Darius to do it. They get paid, and he does their job for them.
Wow. And while it's a fascinating look at his life, it's also a look at the judicial system, right? I guess a lot of it has been about keeping him behind bars, right?
Yeah, I mean, it costs about $60,000 a year to warehouse him in a prison, and for that same amount of money, they could just be paying him to drive the trains, which is what he loves. It's, you know, it would be so much more productive for society to have him provide that service than just be rotting in a cell.
How old is he now?
He's 51.
So who advocates for him now?
His attorney advocates for him. There's a few Asperger's organizations that have been kind of getting behind him, but at the end of the day, he's stuck in this gray area where he's not mentally ill enough that they can just, you know, say, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing, we'll put him in an institution. But he's also not, he's clearly not sane enough to be, in my opinion, considered for these, you know, 5-10-year sentences for doing something that, you know, is really fairly minor when you consider he's not hurting anyone or damaging any property.
And you were able to get some amazing access to him. There were shots we saw him getting his uniform on and getting ready. He was actually in jail during parts of this filming?
Yeah, so when I first learned about him, he was behind bars, and we exchanged over 100 letters over the course of 6 months to build trust. And then I flew to New York, visited him in jail, and we decided to make a movie together. And I waited about a half a year till he got out, and I knew that at any moment he could be right back in because he rarely lasts a few weeks or months before getting arrested again. So I filmed as much as I could when he was on the outside.
What does he tell you? Does he think he's doing anything wrong?
No. He says, I'm a volunteer providing a free service to the people of New York, relieving them of their burden, getting them from point A to point B in a timely fashion.
Now, this documentary has been hitting the film circuit, the documentary circuit, right, the film festival circuit, but there's some big news as well, right? This is going Hollywood as well.
Yeah. There's going to be a big Hollywood film about Darius. It starts filming in the fall, and it's called Train Man, and rumor has it that Julia Roberts will be playing Darius's attorney, and it should be released late next year, and we're all excited about it.
And the role of Darius is yet to be cast yet, so we'll see her.
Yeah, Darius is excited about that.
I'm sure he is. Well, thank you so much. For more information about Off the Rails and director Adam Irving, just head to our website, kcal9.com, click Seen on TV.